a blind piano player, wrestler, long-distance runner, and a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions across the U.S., are here to tell their story of their unique and incredible journey together. Welcome to the Nancy and Mike Show. Nancy and Mike will engage you with some of the most unimaginable and heartwarming stories of their extraordinary life. So please welcome your hosts, Nancy and Mike.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorek.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live from YouTube in Florida. God inspired. This is the Nancy and Mike Show.
Yep.
This is show number 36. Today's date is March 28th, 2026.
Mhm.
Now, I don't know why. I feel like I'm having a hard time with my words this morning,
Uh-oh.
which is
unusual.
is almost like falling off the edge of a cliff. But anyway, before I get started, the first thing I want to do is tomorrow wish everybody a great Palm Sunday.
Yes, very
And
special.
the fact that tomorrow is Palm Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
we have next Friday is my birthday.
Yep.
Now, normally I have a birthday party. I'll be 79. That's not too old to have a birthday party.
No,
At least I don't think it is.
me either.
But here's the deal. If tomorrow was Palm Sunday, which we know it is, that means next Sunday is Easter. And I know if I had an invitation list to come over Easter weekend, nobody's going to show up.
Right.
So because of this, I have to delay
Your
for a
party.
week. I
Yep.
have to delay it for a week. So it won't be April 4th. You think it would be April 4th. That makes the most logical sense. But it's going to be April the 11th. So now that we got that resolved, let's go into the real deal of today's show.
Okay.
I'm starting out with wrestling today. Now, there is no wrestling today. But why am I starting out with wrestling? Well, it's a couple of reasons. If you remember last week when we left, they had the wrestling consolations. And they were supposed to go from 11 to 2 o'clock. Well, they went from 11 to 5 after 1. And I had 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes of the consolations, and they were talking about it. And Nancy said, everybody's gone. There's nobody in the audience.
Yep.
The show was over. I gotta admit, I felt somewhat cheated
Aw.
to only get 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes of the wrestling show. But let me go into the future, the finals. Now, remember I said that Penn State would end up with 6 champions out of the 10 weight classes. Well, they didn't end up with 6.
What did they do? How many did they get?
They got 4.
Oh.
And why they only got 4? There were massive upsets
Oh, wow.
in the 149-pound class. That's Shane Van Ness. He lost. It was his first loss. He was 26-0.
Whoa, that must have been hard on him.
And Welch, 184. Now, those two guys were upset. They were favored and they lost. And so that's why they only had 4 champions. 125, and I told you this, Luke Lilladall would be unchallenged. Levi Haynes would be unchallenged.
And they were?
And they were, yeah. They
Good.
they blew everybody away. And let's see who else. 197, Matt Barr, and I know I'm missing somebody else.
Heavyweight?
No, they didn't make heavyweight. They didn't make 141.
Oh,
165. How could I forget 165?
I don't know.
Mitchell Messenbrink. That guy, I think his closest match was like 15 points.
And he won?
And he won, of course.
Good.
So,
Yeah, I've heard that name.
sorry.
Bless you.
Anyway, I don't know what created that, but anyway. That's the reason why I said there would be 6. There were 4.
Okay. Two
Now,
upsets.
2 upsets, 2 major upsets. Now, why am I talking wrestling today? Well, there's what I think is a valid reason. Now, remember, in 1960, I had a recreation class at the school, and we had 3 guys in the 70 to 79 pound class. And I happened to be at the recreation class where you could bowl or play basketball or.
It was really cool. I got to go to the School for the Blind after we were married, and we went up there and looked around. It was really
Yeah.
a good facility.
I was upstairs in the bowling alley. And also, one thing they had, which I was very good at, they had a shuffleboard.
Yeah, I saw that.
And anyway, the bottom line is I wanted to keep going to recreation.
Sure, it's fun.
But the guy who was in charge, he asked me my weight, and I was 72. And they had 3 guys for the 70 to 79 pound class. So he volunteered me to wrestle the next day. Now, that day happened to be March 30th, the junior midget tournament. I didn't want to wrestle, but I did. And I thought, well, okay, I'll lose my first 2 matches.
Oh, you didn't have confidence, huh?
No, I didn't have confidence. That's why I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, because you weren't being taught. You
Yeah.
just volunteered out of the blue.
Yeah, I knew a few things, but I didn't feel like I was qualified to win a tournament.
Got it.
And so anyway, I thought, okay, 2 matches and I'll be done with this stuff. I could go back to recreation. This is what Coach Farina said. If you don't wrestle tomorrow, you can't return to recreation, which is something I wanted every Tuesday night. So anyway, I wrestled my first match. I pinned a guy. And I was so inexperienced, I called the pin. I was laying on the guy. I had him in a half Nelson, and I had my right hand around his waist. And our judo class calls that the Boston Smash, named after me, because my being a Boston fan. And there's a story that I could tell you some other time
Okay.
about a song that happened in a judo tournament. It's I wasn't happy about it. But anyway, I got away with it.
So what did you do? Hit your hand on the mat like the referee does?
Yes, I did. I took the hand that was around his waist
Uh-huh.
and I hit it. And the referee said, "That's my job."
Oh, funny guy you are.
And
That's my job.
so then eventually I put my right hand back around the guy's waist. because I wanted to keep his shoulders down, so I
Yeah.
didn't want to let
From-
his shoulders go.
Oh,
So even as inexperienced as I was, I knew that. So anyway, he finally hit, and that was the end of my first match. I was ahead 4-0, and I pinned the guy. The next guy, and the kids were teasing me all day, Ricky Finn. Never lost a match in his life.
oh, that's your next competition.
That's the finals.
Uh,
So anyway, Ricky and I are wrestling. It's 5-3.
who's has 5?
Him.
Oh,
Got 1 minute to go, and I could quit. Never
Oh.
wrestled.
and
That's what I was thinking.
okay.
So I was on the bottom.
It's 3.
Now, in the first period, you start standing. The second period, he was on the bottom. The third period, I was on the bottom. Well, the good thing about being on the bottom in the third period, I'm 2 points behind. There's more ways to score when you're on the bottom than there is when you're on top. So he tried for half Nelson. He got it in there, and I did a lock and roll, arm roll.
Okay. Then you got on top?
I got on top. I got 2 points reverse.
Yeah.
And when you do that arm roll, the guy goes on his back.
Oh.
So it turned out to be
You got back point?
a 5-point reverse.
Woo-hoo.
2 points for the reverse, 3 for near fall. I wrote him out. Final score 8-5. I win.
Yay.
Now, what did this do for my attitude? 7th grade, I'm eligible to wrestle on the varsity team. I can't wait for the first day of wrestling practice.
A whole new attitude.
Totally different attitude. The mighty Ricky Finn got beat. I felt like a world beater. And
At the school for the blind, did they have an announcer that said that you won?
yeah,
And did the kids get excited? Your classmates?
no, the kids were teasing me about how I was going to lose.
So they
And
get excited when you won?
no, then because they were wrong, all right? They were proven wrong. They thought Ricky was going to destroy me. And that's all I heard all day, March 30th.
I thought they'd still cheer for you when you
Oh,
won.
no.
Oh well.
So anyway,
Yeah.
they were proven wrong. The kids were proven wrong that Ricky was going to beat me. And when he didn't, everybody shut up. So, I got the silent treatment the next day.
Oh man. I thought you'd get hugs, pats on the back.
What
Oh,
world
wow.
are you coming from?
But at least you won.
At least I won. I didn't need anybody's approval. What the heck? So anyway, that's March 30th. And of course, I went through high school and college, and I placed in the nationals 10 times.
Yep.
No blind person ever came close to that. There were 2 blind people who placed in the nationals one time.
Uh-huh.
It shows you how far ahead my records are of any other blind wrestler.
I remember when you wrestled this wrestler from Ukraine, and he came up to me and he told me, "You have no idea what a disadvantage it is to wrestle when you can't see."
True. Very true.
He was very sincere, very nice guy.
Yes. And my father told me that when I was in the 7th grade. And he said, if you were wrestling a guy, my father said this, and you're equal, who's going to win? Me. I said, me. I
Uh-huh.
want it more.
Yeah. And what did he say? What did your daddy say?
He said, you're wrong. Who's going to win? His eyes.
Oh.
There's not a thing I could do about it.
Well, we're going to a break. This is the Nancy and Mike Show. Stay tuned.
Mike Zorich, a 3-time California state champion in Greco-Roman wrestling at 114 pounds. Mike, blind since birth, was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was a 6-time national placer, including 2 seconds, 2/3, and 2/4. He also won the Veterans Folk-Style Wrestling twice at 152 pounds. In all these tournaments, he was the only blind competitor. Nancy Zorick, a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions in several states. Her father, a commercial artist who shared his instruments with his daughter and helped her fine-tune her natural abilities, influenced her decision to follow in his footsteps. Ms. Zorick has enjoyed a fruitful career doing what she loves. Listen Saturday mornings at 12 Eastern for the Nancy and Mike Show for heartwarming stories and interesting talk.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorick.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live from YouTube in Florida. That's not the last time I ever said Utah. I don't know how Utah gets in there, but
It both starts with you.
anyway, yeah, you're right. But anyway, when I left off, I was talking about what my father told me when I was in 7th grade.
Yep,
If
and
I was
that was it was right on.
if I was equal to my opponent, his eyes are going to be the determining factor.
Sure. Because they can see where somebody's coming. They can see before the tournament even starts.
And not only that, when you're in a tournament, my opponents could watch me wrestle.
Yeah,
I can't watch them wrestle.
you know.
I can't see what they're doing. I don't know what my next opponent's doing, but he knows what I'm doing. He could scout me. He could look at me. He could look at my moves.
I'm sure
It's
they
a
do.
big advantage.
Yep.
Now, anyway, getting back to my career, being a 10-time national placer,
Uh-huh.
3-time California state champion. I never won Connecticut because they wouldn't let me compete, and it cost me a scholarship.
Right.
They didn't want a blind state champ, so they disqualified my whole school. Now, I retired in 1987. And the reason I retired, the last time I made 114 was 1985, and it was very difficult. And I tried to wrestle 125. I didn't like the weight class. So I quit in 1987. But that wasn't the end. In the meantime, I wrestled with this guy, and great wrestler. He's a world champion, Wayne Boyd. And he says, "You know, Mike, you ought to come out of retirement. They have veterans nationals. You could win." So I did. I came out of retirement. I went to Las Vegas 2004 to wrestle. They wouldn't give me contact.
Yeah, they're supposed to be, when you're wrestling a totally blind athlete, to give them contact, physical contact, all the time during the wrestling match. Well, they had some kind of new rule where there's just touch start, which is not good for any blind wrestler because you need to be closer than just fingertip touching.
Now, the thing about the touch start, it's okay if you have partial sight,
Sure.
but if you have no sight, the only thing you could do is reach forward and grab the guy's wrist.
And they'll back up quick.
And if they back up, if they pull their hands back, I don't have any contact.
Nope.
But anyway, and I will tell you to this day, to my dying day, nobody will touch my records because of this contact
Yeah.
rule. There may be a blind wrestler who is as good as I am, but with this
They won't have a
contact rule,
chance.
he's got no chance to even contend with the records I set.
So I went around to the whole place and got a whole bunch of signatures. And when we got home, we got more signatures to stop this touch start and go back to the other way of starting for blind people. And with a lot of work, and they finally, one of the head guys said, "Okay, we'll do it for you."
But nobody else.
What the heck is that?
So anyway,
Well, anyway, yeah, go ahead.
I couldn't wrestle in the 2004 Nationals. Now, the only way I can make weight for the 2004 Nationals in Las Vegas, I didn't eat a thing for 6 days. Nothing.
I know.
And I was ready to chew on waffles, to be blunt.
Yes.
2005, I was able to go. I got a 4th place and a 1st place. In Iowa, I got 1st place. And oddly enough, Iowa being a great wrestling state, I've placed 4 times in the Nationals in Iowa, which is amazing.
Yep.
Now, I retired in 2007, and it was in Iowa, and I won 1st place, which is where I wanted to be. And I tried to make 139 because I was 152 for 1 year, and I tried to make 139. I ended up 143. So I got 2 national titles and a 152. I wanted to make it 152 and also win a title at 139. So I'd have titles in 2 weight classes. I couldn't make 139.
I know you tried like heck.
I know. But anyway, the significant thing of all this, why I'm going into all this, the date, they set a rule. Once you turn 60 years old, you can't even wrestle in the Veterans Nationals. And that's because of a guy from Connecticut who was Iranian. He was the champ of Iran. And he beat everything in his path. So, in order to disqualify him, they had to set an age bracket. So, 60 was the limit. So, they wanted to force him out of the sport. So, they did it for him, to hurt him. In the meantime, anyone else who turned 60, they had to retire.
Right.
There was one guy there who was 72, but he was able to wrestle until they set that rule
Yep.
where you had to retire at the age of 60. So anyway, when was my last match? March 31st, 2007. Remember I told you my first match was March 30th and my final match was March 31st? To me, that's amazing. And it was
Well, your first match, March 30th, what year was that?
1960.
1960. Okay.
And my last match was March 31st, 2007. Now that sounds like I wrestled 47 years,
Yeah, but you had a break.
but I didn't. I had a 17-year break, so I ended up wrestling 30 years.
But even when you weren't in any matches, you were still wrestling with the high school kids and teaching them and being a good example for the kids. You kept wrestling.
Yes, I did, but after 2007, I didn't go to practice anymore
Right.
because I had no reason to.
Right.
And I was getting old. But anyway, it's hard when you're 60-year-old to wrestle a bunch of high school kids.
Yeah.
And anyway, that's the deal with the wrestling.
Okay, go.
The next thing, the study of frustration,
Oh, I know where we're going now.
college
Yeah,
basketball.
I know it.
Now,
Oh,
let
poor
me
Michael.
explain something. When I did my brackets every week, picked my 10 games, pick 150 games, I want to win 90. All right.
Mhm.
Now, listen to this. When I was at 148, I had 2 games left. I was 89 and 59. And the last couple of weeks were bad weeks. And I thought, you know what? I got to win one of these 2 games
Right.
to make it. Well, I did. I won Indiana, Ohio State. And I won. I picked Ohio State. And the other one was Duke, North Carolina. I thought they were giving North Carolina too many points. Duke was favored by 18 points. That's too many points for a rivalry game. So I picked North Carolina. I won that game by 2 points. So I had my 91 and 59. Now let's go on.
Okay.
I get in this tournament with Nancy's brother.
Right.
Right now, my record's 48 and 12. Best I have ever done. 7 games to go. Now, here's the deal. The first thing about it, the brackets. I'm filling out my bracket, and there's BYU. I don't want to pick BYU. I love BYU, but I didn't want to pick them because they got too many injuries.
And at that thing, I didn't know who they were going against. So it
There
wasn't
was
written
there
up.
was no name of BYU's opponent. So I picked BYU, and then I picked Gonzaga over BYU. Gonzaga had a bunch of injuries too. Now, who is BYU supposed to play? They're supposed to play the winner of the Texas North Carolina State. Now, in that situation, they have 68 teams. So the first round, you have 4 games and 60 buys to get down to 64, which is a full bracket. Now, I didn't know who BYU was playing, but if I knew they were playing Texas, I would have picked Texas over BYU, and I would have picked Texas over Gonzaga,
Hmm.
which is the way it turned out. So instead of 48 and 12, I would have been 50 and 10.
Much better.
Now,
Oh,
here's
well.
the other part of the equation.
Hmm.
What do you have to win? You got to win the 8-9 games, the 4-5, and the 2-3s. Well, I won with St. Louis over Georgia. That was 8-9. I won with TCU over Ohio State. That was 8-9. I won with Nebraska over Vanderbilt. That was a 4-5. I won with St. John's over Kansas. That was a 4-5.
That was amazing.
And 2 more, 2-3s. I won with Connecticut over Michigan State. That was a 2-3.
Hmm.
I won with Purdue. I won that. But the other 2-3 I won was a big one. A lot of people died with this one.
What?
Houston over Illinois. But I picked Illinois. So now, here's the problem. If Duke wins tomorrow and Arizona wins tomorrow, that's 2 of my final 4. So I could advance. But I don't have Duke or Arizona in my finals. I have Iowa State and Florida.
Well, we're going to a break. We'll be right back. This is the Nancy and Mike Show.
Author, radio show host and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness: Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorich.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live from Utah, YouTube,
YouTube.
in Florida. I think we're going to have to move to Utah so I won't be making any mistakes. Anyway, I'm talking about these brackets, these 4 5s, 2 3s, and 8 9s.
Yep.
You have to win. Now, here's the other deal.
Yeah.
Nancy's brother told me that I was 4th place. Now, since I was in 4th place, since then, I went 25 and 4. Now, if he tells me that now I'm in 7th place, that tells me there's hanky-panky in this contest. There's some reason they don't want me to win. Maybe because I'm not from the Midwest. Now, I don't know this.
Yeah, you gotta call him.
I'm just using an example.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Now,
Mhm.
my saving grace at this time, here's the deal. I got 8 people in the final 8. There's 8. I got 6 of the 8. You say, wow, 6 out of 8. That's really good. No, it's not.
People or teams? I don't know.
Teams.
Yeah, teams.
6 of the 8 teams.
Okay.
But who are the 2 that I missed? The 2 that I picked for the finals. So once we get to the final 4, I can't even play.
I know. Yeah, you forget about it.
And here's another thing I did.
What?
When you're picking these games,
Huh?
you're rooting, right? You're rooting at the same time you're
Sure.
picking.
You
Now,
like certain teams.
one of the teams, for strategic purposes,
Uh-huh.
there was a game I picked Tennessee. I picked Tennessee to beat Virginia. But I was rooting for Virginia. Now, why was I rooting for Virginia?
I don't know.
I was rooting for Virginia because I felt like Iowa State had a better chance to beat Virginia than they had to beat Tennessee. So,
Okay.
in other words, what I'm telling you is I got to pick the winner of the Iowa State Tennessee game. But I was hoping that Tennessee wouldn't be there because I was afraid of them.
Well,
Tennessee is very good. They are the best team in the Southeast Conference. And but they knocked me out. So my Final Four is totally meaningless. My saving grace is this. Could I still win this thing? I don't know.
No, I can't see it.
I see a way.
Okay, well, don't hold your breath.
If the finals are between Tennessee and Illinois, nobody else has Tennessee and Illinois.
Right.
So you get Duke out, you get Michigan out, you get Arizona out. I got clear sailing.
Oh, Arizona's very good though.
So Tennessee would have to beat Arizona,
Okay.
and they'd have to beat Michigan,
Mhm.
and they'd have to beat the Duke UConn winner.
I was happy UConn won.
So I don't know who to root for between Duke and UConn, and Purdue and Arizona. If Purdue wins, a lot of people are picking Arizona,
Of course.
including me. But I don't have Arizona going to the finals.
No.
I had Iowa State. So for me to survive, Tennessee has to beat Arizona and Illinois has to beat Duke. Is it possible? I don't think so. No, you talk about living on borrowed time. I'm living on borrowed time.
Yeah.
Now, one more subject before Nancy comes.
Okay.
Yesterday we had to go to the doctor.
Ah,
It was not good.
no.
They said I got diabetes. And they wanted me to take, but my diabetes is steady. It's not getting worse.
So he's not taking any medicine.
So that's not the bad thing. But Nancy and I both have high cholesterol. They want to give us cholesterol medicine. I'm not taking it. I don't know what Nancy's going to do. First of all, it's a statin drug, but it's very mild. The other thing is blood pressure. I took some blood pressure stuff that was working, but it made me cough my head off.
So they got another kind that doesn't make you cough as much, but Mike has to chew things he can't swallow, so it tastes worse than the other stuff.
So here's the deal. I'm not taking the cholesterol medicine, and I'm not taking the blood pressure. Why not? They taste like crap. I don't want to be stuck with this stuff for the rest of my life. This stuff that tastes like crap. I'll wait till they
We
come
don't
out.
know about the Stanton. He said they're very small, and we'll see.
And he said they're bitter.
Bitter, you can take bitter.
So
You've had a lot of medicine that's bitter. That's
well,
not a
I
big
have.
deal.
I had antibiotics that were bitter,
Bitter.
but I knew that sooner or later I could get off
Oh,
them.
it's the never
It's
ending.
the never ending thing
Okay, now I get it.
that's
Oh, we'll see.
holding me back. But anyway,
Mhm.
that's where we are with that. My blood pressure was 140 over 78 yesterday.
That's not bad for the doctor's office.
And Nancy was good. She was 126 over 70. So but they want us both to take this cholesterol stuff and
We'll see.
take it at night. My heart medicine I could take because I could chew it. It's not horrible tasting.
Right,
So if I have to take it for the rest of my life, I could live with it.
right.
And one thing he said that when you have sugar, have protein with it. Now I could do that.
Yeah, we can work that out.
We could work that out. So that's what went on yesterday. And anyway, Nancy's going to do her wonderful thing. I'm sorry I took up so much time, but I had a lot on the table this morning.
Well,
Nancy's
it's very short. This is from the scripture. Well, the first thing, let's see, what's this magazine called? Oh, let me get it. It's 60 Days of Prayer. Okay. Helping as an act of worship. So, helping others is more than kindness, it's a sacred offering. Each time you show up for someone, you're stepping into the healing work of God. When you lift others' burdens, you reflect His love in action. Oh, I heard this one story that there was next door neighbor to this little boy and mom. A guy lost his wife, so he went over and he sat with the guy and crawled up on his lap and just sat there and the mom said, "Well, what did you say to him when you went over there?" And the little boy said, I didn't say anything. I just helped him cry. And I thought that was so sweet. And here's another thing from our daily bread. This is from Matthew 5:14. You are the light of the world. And I was just thinking that Mike is a light for the world, but Mike, been blind all his life, has never even seen light. I thought that was pretty interesting to me. But anyway, Jesus calls us the light of the world and challenges us to illuminate the paths of others with God's light radiant through us. I thought that was good. For those who don't yet know the hope of Jesus offers, that sharing his light through us can give them hope. And on the other side, it says, the people living in the darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of the shadow of death, a light has dawned. His truth, the truth light of Jesus that gives light to everyone, those who believe in him are the light of the world. So we're called to shine our light into the darkness world that desperately needs hope. That's for sure, right now. Instead of walking in the wicked ways of the world, he grows in us the fruit of the Spirit, and that draws others to God. Okay, and I just feel that we're here to be a bright light to other people, even if it's just someone in the grocery store. Like yesterday, I went to a fast food place and the guy behind me, I said, why don't you go ahead of me because I needed help with the coupons and all this stuff. So just, and he was gracious and very nice when I was leaving. And uh, I think by shining the light of God through us, we're shining people to give them a little hope. I smile at people in the store. I smile at people, and when someone crosses in front of me in a car, I don't swear. I just think, well, maybe they're in more of a hurry than I am. But thank goodness. I think the key to a calm life is patience. If you can have patience, we can't create it ourselves. We have to have patience from God. He's the source. But I know Mike and I, we do share God's good fruits through us. Huh, Mike?
Yeah, we sure do.
In our prayers, and people ask us to pray for their father and different neighbors and stuff. Mike, and Mike has this wonderful memory. I'll say, "Oh, don't forget, we have to pray for so and so because I need help." Oh, we got tested with our memories yesterday, and I thought, boy, Mike's going to be a whiz. So luckily, he went first, so I was prepared for the questions. Huh, Mike?
Yeah.
So we got through that, huh?
They had you count backwards from 20 to 1, and they had you go backwards from December to January.
Yeah, yeah. And then some saying they had, of course.
I missed the saying.
Well, I guess I can visualize a cat jumping into a hat, but anyway, that was the saying. So we passed that test. And I told him Mike memorized his whole concert, so he's got a perfect memory, that's for sure. So anyway, I'm just about done, so it's going to be you after the break. So we'll be right back. This is the Nancy and Mike show. Stay tuned.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Mike Zorich, a three-time California state champion in Greco-Roman wrestling at 114 pounds. Mike, blind since birth, was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was a six-time national placer, including 2 seconds, 2/3, and 2/4. He also won the Veterans Folk-Style Wrestling twice at 152 pounds. In all these tournaments, he was the only blind competitor. Nancy Zorich, a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions in several states. Her father, a commercial artist who shared his instruments with his daughter and helped her fine-tune her natural abilities, influenced her decision to follow in his footsteps. Ms. Zorich has enjoyed a fruitful career doing what she loves. Listen Saturday mornings at 12 Eastern for the Nancy and Mike Show for heartwarming stories and interesting talk.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorich.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live from YouTube in Florida. This is a Nancy and Mike show. I'm going to talk about hockey and basketball.
Okay.
We beat Atlanta yesterday.
In what?
Basketball.
Oh, the Celtics.
The Celtics. 49-24. I would like to stay in second place. We can't catch Detroit. Why can't we catch Detroit? Not because we're not better than Detroit. We can't catch Detroit because Detroit is chicken, you know what. They play
a lot of weak teams.
they play a lot of weak teams. Oklahoma, San Antonio, they play the weakest schedules. Detroit is third.
Well, it's
And
Detroit's fault.
it's not
whoever
Detroit's
lined
fault.
them up.
I'm not blaming Detroit.
Okay.
But I'm just saying this is why we can't catch them. There's 4 difference in the loss column. We got 9 games left. So we're not going to catch Detroit. But I want to be number 2 because you're playing the 7 seed. Now, the 7 seed has to play their way into the tournament. They have to play against number 8, and then 8 has to play the loser of 9 and 10. I mean, the winner. So they got this pre-preliminary tournament, which I think should be abolished.
Okay.
And I want to play someone who's already played, and hopefully they went 3 games and they're a little bit worn out. So 3 through 6, you don't have to play in this tournament. So anyway, I want the number 2 seed. Now in hockey, the deal was, remember I said last week that this Boston at Detroit, they both had 84 points. This could be a death game. And they were 1-1 at the end of 2 periods. It was on ABC. And Detroit scored a goal. There was 16 minutes to go. But I couldn't watch it because I had college basketball and wrestling.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to watch it because I felt like if I watched it, it would make Boston lose. We won 4-2. We scored 3 goals.
Wow.
Now, then we lose to Toronto, which we didn't get up for the game. We used to beat Toronto all the time. And then we beat Buffalo.
Ooh.
Now, what's going to happen? Carolina's going to be number 1. Tampa Bay is going to be number 2. I want to stay away from those.
Those are the hard ones.
And Montreal. Now, if we get a 3-6 series, we might get Buffalo. Well, we beat Buffalo at Buffalo, so bring them on. So anyway, this is the deal.
Okay.
And Boston's, they won, but we're 2 points ahead of Detroit. And that was the 2 points that we beat them. We have 88, they have 86.
Okay.
Now, we play Minnesota today. Minnesota's got a lot of points, but they play in a lousy division. The West is much worse than the East. And basketball is pretty similar. I think the West is a little better.
Okay.
But in hockey, it's no contest. Out of the 14 teams in the East, the only team that's under 500 is the New York Rangers. Everybody else is over. Now, baseball. My Yankees. Now, why don't I?
Baseball started.
My Yankees are in first place. They haven't given up a run all year. Now, why am I rooting for
That's
the
the
Yankees?
pitching, right?
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Yankees because Boston quit. They're tanking. So I'm rooting for the Yankees, and the Yankees are going to play the Dodgers. I'm rooting for the Dodgers to go all the way. And
Not that you're a Dodger fan.
not that I'm a Dodger fan, but there's got to be something done about the salary cap. There's got to be a maximum. There's got to be a minimum salary cap. And I say this, the end of the collective bargaining agreement, let them sit out the whole year next year. I don't care.
It seems like they found a loophole now with the salary cap to
They did.
manipulate it.
They did. And you know who found it? The Dodgers,
Of
of
course.
course. They are the most corrupt, dirtiest team
Yeah.
that ever played the game of baseball.
They probably
But
have a lot of lawyers working on finding
I'm rooting
loopholes.
for them. I'm rooting for them because I want owners to rebel.
Oh, I see. That's your intention.
And
Back up the other team.
I will
owner.
tell you this, if the
Yeah.
Dodgers want to,
Mhm.
they could go 163, 162-0. Plus, they could go 11-0 in the playoffs.
But you know, if they do that, they'd ruin the whole game.
Yeah, the Celtics were in that situation when Bill Russell was there. They had to lose some games intentionally in order to save the game of basketball.
Yeah. And do you think the Dodgers will do it to save the baseball game?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
So Dodgers won't go 173-0. They should. They're good enough.
But
They got
it
10
would
guys.
ruin it for everybody.
They got 10 guys on the disabled list. And if you took the Dodgers, half of their team,
Mhm.
and put them out for the year, that's still good enough to be 173-0. I don't believe anybody will ever do that because it would destroy the game. But the Dodgers are on watch now. And of course, I don't think they'll lose any games at home. I think they'll go undefeated at home.
Well, we'll see.
81-0.
Anything can
And
happen.
first of all, another thing, they play in the worst division. There's nobody in their division. There's 2 teams in their division that I know will lose 100 games.
Right.
And there could be more than that. So this is what you got for the game of baseball. And I don't know what to do about college basketball. I'm so fed up. I don't even know.
This is a good place to end.
I don't even know if I want to listen to it.
Well, thanks for listening to our show, everybody. And we'll be here next week. It's been the Nancy and Mike Show. Take care, guys.
Go Illinois.
This has been the Nancy and Mike Show. Tune in each week and become part of the conversation of the amazing journey of Nancy and Mike.